Hi, this is Matt's Bricks, and today I have this overhead valve engine, and this is based off of First LS's overhead valve engine that he made. He made it first, but here is his. Let's how you spell it. So, in the Discord link below, that in the description, you can check him out. He's the one that inspired me to build this, and how to build the overhead valve engine head. So basically, what I modified from this was this this relief valve. Um, that's the thing that I added on to it. He didn't build that, but mostly this is his design as far as the intake valve, the rockers, the top where you push onto it, the uh, rubber bands and stuff like that. Up here. So basically, a lot of that top portion here was all his idea and the intake thing. The biggest thing that I modified was the thing that I added onto it was the relief valve, and I have a more descriptive video that I'll link also below that I made describing and what the pros and cons of this engine or this head that I added onto it. So, in short terms, whenever the intake valve is closed and there's no and then the vacuum, there's nowhere for it to go. So it sucks the intake valve shut, and what that does is that it's harder to push on this rocker to push that intake valve because that's being sealed by that by the vacuum cleaner, and also leaking from that as well. But it's sealed up against that, and it's hard to push in the rocker. Well, I have this valve up here that whenever the intake valve is closed, then this opens up, lets out air so that it's not holding this intake valve shut. So, and then of course, whenever the intake valve opens, this closes so it's not leaking out air as well. So it's not just an open hole. But that's what I modified from this head. So basically, how high it is, it's 23 bricks. It's 23 bricks and 2 plates tall. So it's quite tall. I'm not sure how wide it is. It's probably around 20 studs wide. So it's pretty tall engine for most parts. It's got a 3 stud crank, which is kind of a big crank as far as if you're trying to get RPM, but it needs that in order to push this heavy valve spring. And it needs a big flywheel also to keep the momentum to push that valve spring. And you need that heavy valve spring because at full throttle, it would actually stick. It would actually hold. The vacuum would actually stick the valve down. So that's why you have to have a return spring so that it pushes that valve back up into its place. So that's the overhead valve, how that works. And there's a gear, some gears down here that go from the crankshaft to this camshaft. And there's a camshaft down here. It's the 2 stud long crankshaft or camshaft. But yeah, that's the motor. Let's run it. as you can see, it doesn't run super fast, but for overhead valve, as far as overhead valve engines go, it's pretty decently fast. But it's really inefficient because of that heavy valve spring. But it is more torquey because of the bigger cam or crankshaft than my 6,000 RPM one cylinder. And by the way, the one cylinder, I'm gonna hook up the Lenco 4-speed transmission, and I'm gonna make a video hopefully tomorrow, if not the day after that. So between 1 to 2 days, I should have that video released. So everything should. So you guys can be, I guess, like a makeup for the period that I've been gone for, because I've uploaded for a while now. So that's my engine, or that's my modified LS engine. LS's design that I modified, I should say, that added on the relief valve. The relief valve is basically the only or the biggest modification I added to it, and so that's basically what I gotta do. So yeah, bye.